Just by clicking on this video, you've already completed your first step towards your goal, and that's taking action. The only thing I ask in this video that you take action upon what I'm saying, because without action, you're gonna stay in the same place you were yesterday. So with that being said, let's get started. So who am I? Who's Junior? This is where my journey started. My journey started at school selling chips, and I was diagnosed with cancer. I was unhealthy, lazy, but I wanted to start a business. So I did. I started selling chips at school. Then one day I was diagnosed with cancer. So then I wanted to start focusing on healthy things. Things that'll make me live longer, healthier, think sharper, have more energy. So I moved on to the second business, fitness coaching. Preferably online, because online is the way to go when it comes to business. You have that location freedom, that time freedom. So you're not in a set location. You could be anywhere while working at any time. But then I realized that I didn't want to do this anymore. I found the limitations when it comes to fitness coaching. It's not scalable. So I moved on to this. I started a content agency or a consulting business. I love the strategy of it. I love building relationships, or the relationships that you build in a consulting business, because you see the inside networks of a business, seeing what works and what doesn't work, and being able to have that trust with your client. It's completely different from any other business. And the biggest thing that I learned is that it fixes a money problem. Like fitness coaching didn't fix a money problem. It only fixed someone's health. Now, that's big, but at the end of the day, a lot of people aren't thinking in the future. They're thinking about now. And the way I positioned it was a health problem. It wasn't a focus problem. It wasn't something that was limiting their business. And now I know, of course, it was my offer. But it wasn't as scalable. When you're helping someone fix a money problem, that's what really matters. Because if you can help someone make more money, the more money they can pay you. And that's the reality of business. If you're not fixing a money problem, you're not going to get a lot of money. Now, that was just a short snippet about myself. I don't want to get too in-depth about me, because I want to provide as much value as I possibly can in a short amount of time, because your time is valuable. And what you should be spending most of your time is learning, then action. Action is where real things happen. So who's this video for? This is not for brick and mortar businesses, people who are not all in, and people who lack action. If those are any of you, switch off the video and then come back when you're ready. Because again, this video is useless if you're not taking action or if you're not all in. Now, this is for info entrepreneurs, which is online business. Someone who's dedicated to their business, the person who is consistent and still doesn't see results, who wants to be seen as an authority in their niche, who wants to move the needle of their business, not just mindlessly doing work, not knowing it's going to work. Now that sounds like you're in the correct place. Now your job is only to learn and do. And once you do that, I can guarantee you that your business is going to grow. Now let's go off the first lesson. In order to get that dream follower, you have to understand who the audience is, or who you're trying to attract. Here are the key things you have to know. Understand how they know, business owners you know. And if you have an audience, ask your audience. And if your audience is full of those people. Or you can also go to AI, either Perplexity or ChatGPT. But make sure you're asking an in-depth question with a big description. Not just, what do entrepreneurs think? No. Not one sentence, because you're going to get the general answer. We want an in-depth answer. Once you have that figured out, you create content on what they're struggling with. Value content or vlogs, building trust. Here's the goal. Your goal here is to make your audience feel heard. That's exactly what you're doing with your content. Once you make them feel heard, they feel understood, you've built trust and authority, and it's only a matter of time that they're going to buy. Now, if you're new and you don't know what materials to use, here's exactly what I use. I use Notion for my work layouts, and Todoist for my to-do list. I like it because I'm able to section it off side by side. And then Freeform or Miro. That's exactly what I'm using here. Just to build out something that I can actually see in front of me, not just words. It helps me understand better that way.
I know that you want to grow your personal brand. I know that you want to grow your business, and you know that to do that, it takes building your personal brand. So you know what it takes and why you're doing it. And that makes you the difference maker inside of your business and in your life. So let's get to it. So this is the YouTube conversion mechanism. Here are the people who use it. The biggest creators use it. I'm pretty sure you know all of them. Suway, Brett Scales, Daniel Dalen, Alex Hormozi, and other people too, like Iman Gadji as well. And there's so many I can land. So let's start with short form, right? What's the goal for all social media platforms? TikTok. Now going to TikTok. No. So what's the goal for all social media platforms? Let's go first with, so what's the goal for all social media platforms? Let's start with TikTok. TikTok is top of funnel content, which doesn't really convert anybody, but it gets people to know you, which is important. Then moving on to Instagram. Instagram is top of funnel content as well. It's just for people to get to know you. Now, for business, I do recommend only Instagram, mainly as a short form social media. Now you could do LinkedIn as well, but it just depends who you're targeting. Instagram, I noticed that it is the best out of all the short form social medias, because you're able to post stories, reels, and carousel posts. It's a lot more versatile than TikTok or LinkedIn. So Now that these are top of funnel, what should the goal be when it comes to just short form? The goal is to pique curiosity. It's to be liked. That's the only thing that short form should be doing for you. It's all top of funnel content. Because you're not going to be able to nurture anybody. You're not going to be able to sell anybody on Instagram. Or if you are, the sales calls are going to be extremely difficult. So if you look at these reels, they all pique curiosity. You want people to ask, I kind of want to know more about this guy. Then that leads, of course, to your YouTube. So let's take a look at these reels. What do they mainly do? POV, how you found God. It's my values and my beliefs. That's what sets you apart in your market. Each of these reels are part of my story. And that's what sets you apart. No one can copy your story. Everybody can post tips and tricks, but not you, not what your experience is, not how you felt in those experiences. That's what sets you apart. Now, what do all these do? They all do the same job that short form should do. And it's to create curiosity. I'm going to keep saying it. It's to be liked so that people can find out who you are. And where your short form content should lead you is all to your YouTube. That's it. Everything should lead to your YouTube. But remember, these rules you have to follow. Short form content is not used to nurture, sell. That's what YouTube is for. Remember that. You can't nurture with your content, with your short form content. You can't sell on your short form content. You just can't, because people don't spend as much time with you as they do on YouTube. So here are your don'ts on short form content. Don't sell. I'm going to keep saying it. And when I say that, don't use short form content to just get clients, because you're going to have your business on hard mode. And then don't share tips and tricks. You look the same as everyone else, because everyone else can do that. That's easy. You can just steal other ideas from other people. Now for both of these, here are your do's. Make people think, I want to see more. Give free resources out, and mainly give those on stories, because stories are limited. So the people who watch your stories are falling down your funnel even more, because they're looking at other stuff other than your reels. So give free value from there. Then post on stories every single day. That's really important. If someone can see your face every single day, they will never forget about you. And then share your beliefs and values and double down on what works. There's going to be so many people who agree with you. There's going to be so many people who want to be in your same position. And all that goes into your experiences, because no one has the same experience and feeling the way you think. It's so important because it really sets you apart. You do not look the same as everyone else. That's what all big creators have ever done. They set themselves apart. And how they do that? Because they went into themselves. They didn't go into everybody else. They didn't copy other people. It might work in the short term, but it won't work in the long term. You're going to look like everybody else. So here's how you're going to do your deep link. It's going to be under the description. You're going to go here. You're going to go to your YouTube. Then you're going to grab your link from up top. You're going to paste your link in here. Of course, you're going to make an account. You got to make an account. If you're not logged in, then, it's not good. You got to log in. All right, boom. Once you're logged in, you made a whole login. It might take a little bit because it did get a little confusing to me when I was logging in. So you're going to paste that in here. Oop, paste the wrong link. You're going to paste that YouTube link in there. You're going to compose link. You're going to name it. You can put either your name or your username. I'm just going to put my username. And then you literally copy the URL. Now you can't put in links inside of your computer, so you have to do it through your phone. So on your phone, you're basically going to go to your Instagram, your profile, of course. You're going to edit your profile. And then where it says links, you're going to add and paste that link, name it under YouTube, and then submit. And it should just be on your profile. Now that leads us to our next step, setting up the profile. Now what you do here, again, you want to pique curiosity. If you look at every big creator, they're doing it. They're not putting too many things on their bio. They're putting exactly what they do, keeping it simple, but still building that curiosity, kind of looking, what else does this guy do? So that's why I kept it simple. What do? I build personal brands. And what do I have on my link? I only have my YouTube channel so that I can reach people through there. Because people spend the most time with you on YouTube. That's what's most important. The more time someone spends with you, the warmer they get, the easier they are to sell. Your sales calls are literally going to be people just saying, hey, how much is it? Let me buy now. That's it. They're literally just onboarding calls. That's what they're going to be. And it's that simple for the short form content or social media. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go to what's the purpose for YouTube? The purpose for YouTube is for nurturing your ICP so that they spend the most time with you. I'm going to keep repeating it. If you notice the things that I'm repeating, I recommend that you're writing these things down or that you have any sort of notes on it, because you won't be able to remember it. If you want to use Notion, that's the number one thing I use. Notion is my guy. YouTube is also for selling your VSLs. Still giving away value for free. And make sure the value you give away is true value that really works. Not the same cookie cutter thing that everybody gives out, but true things that people pay for. Because when giving value away, that's what's going to set you apart. Remember, trying to be different. Asking yourself, can my competitor copy what I'm doing right now? And the answer is no, that means you're doing something right. And then the third thing is warm up your ICP or your ideal client profile. Maybe they won't buy first video. Maybe they won't buy second video. Maybe they won't buy third. but they're eventually going to buy just because of the amount of time they're spending with you. If you have an hour course on your profile, that's an entire hour they're spending with you. So it's only a matter of time when they're going to buy from you. Now for the big question, the most important question really, is what do you post on YouTube? What type of content? Now you see here, vlogs. Vlogs is so important. Suway does this. Imangachi does this. Daniel Dallin does this. So many other creators do it. And the second piece of content is your VSLs. Alex Hormozi does this. Daniel Dallin does this. Suway does this. And what do they all do? Well, starting with the vlogs, they're used to nurture your audience and build trust. Being able to show your mistakes, being able to show your growth, being able to show your life, the work you're doing, that all builds trust because it shows that you're human and that you really care about what you're doing. People will relate with what you think, what you believe, all just on documenting your journey. It's really that easy. Just document what you do, how you do it, why you do it, and that's it. Now going to the VSLs, the reason VSLs are so important is because they build authority and conviction. When you have authority over somebody, it's a lot easier to do anything. And when you have conviction, it's a heck of a lot easier for someone to buy. There's no doubt with what you do works. And with VSLs, you have to do one thing. The only thing that you should do is break one limiting belief. If you break one limiting belief, their conviction goes even higher. That one limiting belief can be, I work 4 hours a day and I make 10K a week. And what's the limiting belief you're breaking in there? You're breaking that you have to work so much time in order to make a lot of money. But the truth is, you don't have to work that much. It's that time you're breaking. And if your entire video is focused on just that, the easier it is to pinpoint something. If you pinpoint too many limiting beliefs, people will just get like, it's confusing now. But if you just pinpoint that one limiting belief, you're able to get your ICP in multiple different angles so that they believe you and you show them it's the truth because of your proof. Now moving to the golden piece of content. Now looking at these two, the vlogs and VSLs. Now here's what the golden piece of content is. It's to do both. Being able to sprinkle little bits of value inside of your vlogs gives you authority, conviction, trust, and nurturing your audience. Now you might not be able to do an entire VSL inside of your vlog, but being able to put a 4-minute, 5-minute video inside of your vlog, giving value away, whether it's how to get clients with content, how to get a 6-pack, what your diet's like, how to make a winning ad, anything. If you just put that inside of your vlog, your ICP will see you completely different. And you're able to post it a lot more instead of splitting the two. So that's it. You learned exactly how you can master your content and move with purpose. Now what your next move is to take action and be the difference maker you know you are. I'll see you guys on the other one.